hardworking women, and everyday super moms. We got a little something for you. It's Eva's Corner on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show at the top of the hour. It is time for Eva's Corner. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Eva's Corner, bringing you all things womanhood, motherhood, and the juiciness in between. So today I want to have more of a round table conversation and ask yourself. So as I've been sitting at home during quarantine, I've been doing a lot of reflecting, and I think about my kids a lot. And I think about their future often, who they'll be when they grow up, what kind of personalities they'll have, and I find myself wondering what kind of people they would end up dating. And I ask myself the question, how would I feel if my very black kids came home with someone out of the race? And not just a minority, but a white guy or a white girl. And how would I feel about that as a parent? Because my oldest is only 6, and so obviously I haven't really swam through that yet. But it definitely raises a couple of eyebrows. Now, for myself, growing up, there was no question. We had to bring home African Americans. As a black girl and having a black mom and a black dad, they were very sincere about that. Also, It's actually all I was really attracted to. But I don't want to put my kids in a box. So I wonder, and I asked my husband, who's actually here with me today, how would you feel if our daughter brought home a white guy? How would you feel? Would you accept him and say, oh, it's cool like any other guy?
Yes. Yeah, at the end of the day, and good morning, Ricky. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show team. I love y'all so much. I listen to y'all in the car.
Man, we love you too, Mike. You know we love you, little brother.
But, I was telling my wife, I was like, at the end of the day, you have to trust the decisions you make for your children and do the best by them, and then let them make decisions for themselves. And so, whatever decisions that my children make, I'm going to be happy with them, even if internally I may have some discomfort or my own discomfort with what decisions they make. I'm going to trust them to make the best decisions for themselves.
So this is the way I look at it, Ricky. Now, if I put my kid in a predominantly white neighborhood and send them to predominantly white schools, and that's their social circle, I am to expect that that's who they'll end up dating. But what do you do when your child goes to a school that's majority African American and their friends are majority African American, and then they bring home someone of other race? How would you feel, Ricky?
It don't bother me. My son dated outside of his race before. I think both of my sons, or whatever. But the thing about it is I just need to make sure that they respect everybody and that everybody respect them. I will do some background check depending on how serious the relationship is. Maybe a conversation with the parents or a meeting with the parents or whatever. They go into the prom and all this kind of stuff to make sure that he's safe and, my son is safe and don't get mistreated, because we are in the South. And, if it bring, I'm like Mike, if it bring me some discomfort, I know it's bringing them some discomfort as well. Just depends on where they stand and how they were raised. So it's just all about being respectful and making sure that they respect each other. And then both parents, Mike, should sit down and have a conversation with them about get ready to be stared at, get ready to be judged, and be forewarned about everything that comes with dating outside of your race, because it ain't just about putting up stuff with white people. Black people gonna dog you out too.
Absolutely.
Hell, you don't even have to date nobody white. You sit there and watch the comments on Terrence J page, because his girlfriend is black and light skinned, and the hate stuff that he got. It's absolutely absurd how we can be racist also, if I'm saying that right, Mike.
Yeah.
Or at least prejudice.
Right.
Rock T, what about you? You have a daughter headed to Harvard this year. How would you feel if for Thanksgiving she decided to bring home her new beau and he was a white boy? How would you feel?
I wouldn't have a problem with the race. I just would want her to understand who she is, not forget who she is as a beautiful black African-American queen. And just, if he's making her happy and respecting her, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have a problem with it. I mean, the days today have changed from back in the day. And like Rick just said, I will sit her down if that happened and say, listen, be ready for all the eyeballs. Be ready for all the finger pointing.
What if he show up at Thanksgiving with a "Make America Great Again" T-shirt on?
Right, no, that's a good question, Ricky.
You draw the line right there, dog.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of stuff that comes into play, right? Political views, and the way in which the other person was raised, be it that they're not of our culture and of our color, if they even understand what our plight is as a black person in America. And so just for me, and I don't want to be politically correct and just say yes, I'm going to be honest. Like, for me, I would prefer for my family to keep it within its race. However, I am open to my children having interest in other cultures and, open to that idea. But if I had to pick, just because for me, the black man was praised in my household growing up. The black man was my hero, my dad, my brothers. And so when I look at a beautiful man, the first thing I think of is a black man. And so I think that's just how I was raised. And I'm wondering, are we still raising our kids that same way, or is it different?
Yeah, I'm going through that now with one of my kids, but I don't want to start.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm too angry to speak on it.
I would have an issue with it personally.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I would have an issue with it personally.
Okay, talk about
it. It definitely hurt our relationship. Go ahead, Kate.
I just would have an issue with it. Y'all have said a lot of the things that I'm thinking, but my son was hugged up on a white girl at school one day, and he's 16. And I asked him about it when I was picking him up. I said, "Oh, so that's your new girlfriend?" He said, "Nah." He said she cool, but I could never date her for real because I don't want to deal with the family issues that might come with that, and I don't want to be treated some kind of way, going up in somebody's house as a black guy. Mm-hmm. And he's cognizant of that, and I'm cognizant of it because I know that there's not a lot of love for us like we would like to think it is, and I don't want my son going through that. Nor would I want my daughter going through that.
And then, Kate, what I had to tell my oldest son. All right, now, if you a year older than her, Mike, help me out on this one, Mike.
Okay.
Break this down for me, Mike. If you're a year older than her and y'all having sex, right? Y'all break up and she get mad at you, or the parents found out that you having sex and she's 16 and you're 17. What does that mean?
Right.
What does that mean for you as a black man in the South dating somebody outside of your race, Mike?
That could be a big problem, Ricky. You probably remember the case of Janarlo Wilson.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, who got a 10-year sentence. It was ultimately overturned. He actually worked for me, Ricky. I gave him a job when I was running the City of Atlanta's workforce agency. But Janarlo Wilson got a 10-year sentence in a mutually, both the parties agreed that there was consensual, their intercourse, their sexual relationship, and he ended up with a 10-year sentence because it was, a lot of people thought that was racially motivated. It was a white girl. He was 17. She was 15. I think he was a senior and she was a sophomore.
Right.
Wow.
And all our kids, if you're a young man or in a situation like that, and he go to a predominantly white school, and he might date somebody outside his race that's younger than him, or whatever, you might really need to sit down and have a real conversation. Or Mike, Mike, can they sign something, some kind of?
That's the hard thing. But part of the reason that law is in place is that the law has recognized that children under a certain age don't have the ability to consent, so they can't even legally sign a document unless there was some sort of parental consent. So even if you got their consent, even if you got them to sign a document, it would not hold up.
Yeah. So just tell your kids pretty much, especially if you got a young man and he on the basketball team, football team, a really smart SGA, whatever he's on, the debate team, the FBLA, do not do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Wait. If she ain't 18, don't. Don't do it.
It's so real, though, Ricky.
I'm sorry.
It's so real. And these are the conversations, and that's why we have Eva's Corner, to have the conversations that are kind of difficult to have, but necessary, especially when we're raising our young black kids in today's America.
And it isn't just our culture that feels that way. My Jewish friends, their parents want them to have a nice Jewish girl. My Indian American friends, their parents want them to, marry a nice Indian boy, a nice Indian girl. It is, that is a part of the culture. That is a part of various
Cultural
cultures, and a lot of
identity.
people feel that
Right.
way. Yeah.
Right. Hey, Eva, thank you for this. This is a great topic. Hey, Mike, thank you for jumping on the other night, little brother-in-law, the other 1911. Thank you for jumping on with us, man. I really appreciate you. I love
My
you,
pleasure.
man.
I just love listening to y'all so much.
He
Rickey.
does. He sits
Thank
in the
you.
car.
Mike, you know, Eva, I don't even fool with Eva. Mike, only reason I talk to Eva because you homeboy, you the homie. You know what I'm saying? I don't fool with Eva like that. Coming up. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Eva. Coming up, y'all. A song